What a piece of junk!
This is the Shattered Order podcast.
Go switch off!
If you're looking for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, information, and theory crafting, you've found the podcast you're looking for. With your hosts, GoodNightPunk and WinKILLERinc.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 185th episode of the Shattered Order podcast. I'm your host, GoodNightPunk, and with me, as usual, is my good friend Wink. What's going on, Wink?
Woo! I'm in a good mood. I am ready to talk about some SWGOH and I'm in a great mood tonight. I'm pretty pumped. I am leaving bright and early in the morning. We're leaving at like 6 o'clock in the morning. We are driving to Indianapolis. So I know we've got a bunch of listeners in Indiana, actually. So
Nice.
Going up there for the weekend and then coming back on Sunday. So I'll be editing the podcast on the road and getting it out nice and early, too.
Nice. That'll give you something to do.
Hell yeah. Gonna need it. Freaking 10.5-hour drive.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm glad I'm not going to be gone this weekend because that two
Sounds like you
weekends
had a
in a
rough
row,
night.
that 2 weekends in a row where I was driving for
Oh,
5
and
hours
that,
and
yeah.
7 hours, turnaround trips basically. Yeah, that was too much driving. I'm done with it.
Yep.
So, but
Cool.
yeah. So I don't know. There's really not been that much going on this week. I will say this: I don't have a beer tonight. I decided to drink last night and
What?
drank way too much. So tonight is
Uh-oh.
soda and water night. But if you wanna talk about that, I can talk about what I drank last night.
I think we can manage that. I have a sounder for that somewhere.
You do. I was trying to let you intro that.
Well, it's got this. There we go.
Hey boys, it's your favorite time of the day. The time where we all pop our tops off and relax.
Oh, time to relax, indeed. So
and pop our
tonight,
tops off.
I am having. I popped the top on a very delicious Jesus Mexican style beer from
Oh,
our friends over
yeah.
at Melvin, and man, this thing's pretty good. I'm a huge fan of like Dos Equis. Generally, Dos Equis is like my go-to beer just because everywhere around here has it. So I love a style beer. Super tasty. I don't have any salt or lime to go with this thing, but it's awfully damn smooth. It is so good. I'm nothing but impressed.
Yeah, I had that one. That was I think that was the first one I actually drank from what we got, and I loved it. I don't have any more, so there's that.
It's I can see why. It's pretty good. Pretty tasty. So actually the Melvin guys are like doing a tour I saw on Instagram.
We lost Wink for a second.
I'm kind of
There he is. He's back.
No, what? Ah,
We lost you for a second.
having internet issues. Wonderful.
Oh.
Alrighty. Well, I've also got the Citrodamus over here that I will be popping open here in probably 20 minutes or so. But yeah, dude, Joker just brought up a good point in chat. Bingo. We need to bring back the bingo soon.
Yes, more bingo. Maybe we'll ask for squares for next week. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'll tell you what, that's Citrodamus. Go easy on that. It's 9%, and I drank a 4-pack of that the other week without realizing it till afterward.
Oh.
Holy smokes, it's delicious. You'll
Oh,
never
bet.
even for a 9% beer, it's really really smooth. So be careful with that. But yeah.
All right. I will. Well, let's go ahead and get into some really exciting other things.
All right, let's do it.
Hey guys, what did you do in SWGOH this week?
I want to say one thing off the top. I don't understand how this still happens, but the game performance of this game is awful. Do you have this problem?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like-
I keep getting this thing where it'll load and load and load, and then it'll say lost connection, and then if you hit try again, it'll load and load and load, and then finally do its thing. It happens a lot when I try to buy shipments.
I have that issue, but it's usually because I actually do have bad internet somewhere, because there's a lot of bad internet spots around here.
You
Like,
have
for
bad
example, my
internet?
house.
What?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. But, man, just the game, like, character animations and stuff, there are times will be so slow. It'll be like 3 frames per second. It's awful. And it happens constantly. And I will have everything in my phone closed, no other apps open, just SWGOH, and it does it all the time.
I find it
It's
funny
so
when you're doing
frustrating.
a battle and you're like, they don't move, but then suddenly they do move,
Yeah.
and then they jump like 6 feet past the person they're attacking.
So annoying,
like-
right?
I would think that the code wouldn't even let that happen, but it is too weird to see them fly across the screen after a lag, not hitting where they're supposed to. It's pretty odd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird and annoying. But so I just wanted to rant about that real quick. But I mean, I gotta be honest, all in all, it's been a pretty damn good week. In SWGOH, it's been a pretty damn good week. So I got OG Kylo, my second Zeta ever in this game. I got him to Relic 7. He's max. I remodded him. He's got an offense set. He's got a health set. He's got 2 health primaries. He's got like 78,000 health, and he's like 260 speed. He's pretty nasty. I can't wait to see how he does in some Grand Arenas. I think it was only Relic 4 in this previous Grand Arena. So
I gotta think that second special is gonna slap.
yeah,
It's
it should
gonna-
be.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Of all
Well,
the like
both of them.
lightsaber animations, that animation is one where I feel like if you got hit with it,
It's pretty cool.
it would
yeah.
really, really hurt.
Well, one thing about Kylo is I've always kind of modded him for more for protection because of his Zeta,
Mhm.
and I decided to move more towards health for a couple reasons. He's constantly getting his cooldown, reduction done because of his unique ability, and he AoEs a ton. Well, the AoE doesn't recover anything besides health. So I figured if I just stacked his health up a lot, because he doesn't have to worry about expose or anything like that, stacking his health up a lot, he'll be recovering a lot there, and then whenever he does use a special, he can recover some protection. I mean, he still has a decent amount of protection, but I kind of think that, going a lot more health, I think will be pretty beneficial, but I will let you guys know how that actually goes after I get a test, but I'm
Yeah, it should be
pretty excited about the
interesting.
potential.
Considering you're going to be getting both that health and protection back in bigger chunks.
Yep.
So
Yep. Indeed. So
Interesting.
the other thing was Phasma. I got to Relic level 3. She'll be Relic 4 tomorrow, and then probably Sunday, hopefully Sunday or Monday, get her to Relic 5. So that'll be pretty exciting. Also remodded her some, went with a little bit more potency because of her debuffs and speed.
Speed down, always the classic. Why you used Phasma in the pit raid back in the day.
Yep, it is pretty good stuff. And yeah, so, but this is the really good news. The thing I am most excited about. It's pretty hard to do. I hit Kyber in this 5v5 no ships, which is the hardest Grand Arena to hit Kyber in. I ended up going 10-2. I dropped the ball on round 1 of this past week, I think. I played it poorly and got my ass kicked, basically. My previous loss was just stupid. Like, there's no reason for it. At least this time, I feel like the person that beat me was like I'm like, okay, that person played it really well and everything. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I wasn't really that irritated about it, I should say. But so congrats to that person. But anyway, yeah, I went 10-2. Hit Kyber by 67 points, just barely snuck in there. I had to be very, very strategic. I had to give up some points, essentially, and to do a battle with Emperor Palpatine and Sidious. In order to get that, there was a feat that I needed. So I ended up getting it just barely. Had I missed a single feat or anything, I would have been a little bit short. So I'm going to start paying a little bit more attention to those feats forward.
Funny about that is all I literally needed was 1 feat to get to, what is it, Erodium?
I saw that, man. Yeah.
I was like 120 away from Erodium.
Oh, man, it's so bad.
My rank was great.
Yeah.
My rank for the end
hold on.
of the Chromium. Chromium?
Did you
Whatever one.
Did you even do your battles today?
Nope. That's why. Also why. I
Exactly.
completely forgot.
It would have been so easy.
It would have been really easy because my opponent didn't even attack me. So if I had just done one battle and won, I would have been in Erodium. But, I did a lot of sleeping this morning. Too much Hubert Pale Ale last night.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. That will do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been enjoying Grand Arena a lot. Trying to optimize a few teams and things like that, and it's been a lot of fun. Trying to, I paid a little bit more attention on defenses that set and trying to make them to where they definitely just make sure the other person lose points. Even if they get one shot, that's fine. I want you to struggle to get points. And for the most part, my defenses have done that. The people that did score really well against me, I scored even better against them because they left some really weak stuff in the back. So I was pretty happy about the way it went.
It's funny too. I would have hit Erodium too if I hadn't used my Malik counter in the front of my second opponent, because I got to the back and I had nothing to counter a Darth Revan team. I took out Sith Trooper, HK, and Bastila, and left was Revan and Malik, but I had nothing left to take those two out, and I ended up losing only because I couldn't finish off that back wall. But literally every team he set on defense was not good. So I'm like, okay, so every team in his defense is probably not going to be good. Then I would crack that back open, and I'm like, probably shouldn't have used BB-8 with RJT, and I would have my I would have had my nuke squad.
GG, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing about Malik. He's so frustrating. I always keep Padme on defense just because my Padme can beat Malik. And I'm always worried because, I only have a Gear 11 Malik. So, just about everybody I face has a Gear 13 Relic Malik. And I'm not there. So I have to keep that kind of in my back pocket just in case. And then, my Sith Empire kind of sucks.
Yeah, mine's... I've got Malik Relic 4, and that's it for my Sith Empire.
Like, I use that team to take down, like, a Night Sister team or some piddly squad that I can usually score decent against and burn down pretty quick just because, the team kind of sucks. But, so I got a couple really cool mods this week. 2 of them I bought from the store. They were both offense sets with crit damage primaries. One of them, and it's kind of funny, they both had speed secondaries. They both had 4 procs on one stat, which is pretty good. And
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
yeah, you're gonna love the 2 stats that procced. One of them, speed, procced 4 times, got to 18 speed. That one went to OG Kylo. And then my other one, offense percent procced 4 times, taking it to 1.5%. So
Nice.
it'll be a little over 4.5%. It'll be like 4.55% once I slice it up. Still has 5 speed, which is but with that kind of percent offense secondary, that'll be a great mod on like Arc Trooper or Echo or God forbid Finn or something like that. Somebody that doesn't particularly need speed at all. That's going to be an absolutely kick-ass mod on them.
Yeah.
And then one other mod I found this week. This was actually a mod that I've had for a while. It was just sitting at level 1, so I leveled it up. But it was a speed set bonus protection primary. Ended up with 17 speed. I was pretty happy with that. That's obviously a super useful mod that I'll put somewhere. And
no doubt.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
I would be as well.
I've been thinking about making a video. I might do that because you know what ship is unbelievably underrated in Arena?
Lando's Millennium Falcon.
I don't know. It gets a lot of run. People really like the Falcon.
Not right now.
Well, that's fair. But I really feel like the Geonosian spy ship is extremely underused.
It's not underused for me.
It's
That's
great.
like the main ship for the Malevolence. You bring it in as a reinforcement to take out ETA. Take out the ETA on the Force Taunt, and they pretty much have nothing to take out a Malevolence.
It is amazing because it prevents the stealth. When you kill JKA, he goes into the stealth, and then with that, when you bring him in, put that taunt on him, oh my god, it makes arena battles, so many of them, so much easier, because when you get in that spot, if you're able to kill a ship early especially, you just bring him in, and it's basically a lock. Just, take out JKA and then auto. It's nasty.
Under
and
Malevolence.
my Geo Spy is only gear 12. I don't even think he has any 6-dot mods or anything, and his special hits like 130k. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. He can wipe some ships off the map for sure.
Well, imagine doing that, calling in all Geos, and then since the ship has buzz droids on it, all your vultures assisting as well.
Oh yeah,
It's literally you bring in Geospy, and whatever gets the Force Taunt on it is nuked to death. It's great.
Nice.
It's like an instant nuke on turn for the first reinforcement.
So there's only one Malevolence, I think, in my arena that I see on a regular basis, kind of like top 20-ish. I'm obviously running GK, but that's kind of interesting. I don't remember seeing Geospy with that ship, with that person's fleet. I think it runs. I know it has Sunfalk, but never seen Spy. So
never seen it as a reinforcement. Because it wouldn't be in the starting. Okay, I was gonna say.
Right.
Wouldn't be in the starting
never
lineup,
seen it as a reinforcement. I don't fight it a lot, so it could be in there. I've just never noticed it.
I don't know that the AI prioritizes that ship anyway. It might be like the 3rd or 4th reinforcement.
Yeah, I don't think it does at all.
But on offense, as a human playing it, that's
your
best move.
Totally agree. It's just so much fun. So the other thing is I am farming Sith Trooper and Hux. I am going all the way up to 50 crystal refreshes on their nodes, and then doing Emperor Palpatine Shuttle, Rey's Falcon, and the BLT Bomber. Delicious. So there's something interesting that I kind of want to mention because I think it's about to be super important for a ton of people as far as just general farming. All 3 of those ships, I was looking at their shipment cost per per shard, and the cost per shard on all of those ships is 100 crystals per shard. So I started doing some math, and I could actually be doing 100 crystal refreshes to get the energy to do, like a 50 or a 25 or 50 node refresh on those ships, and I would still be ahead of buying them in the shipments. Oh, good lord. So with all this stuff that there is to farm right now, that is something that you should definitely keep in mind, is the fact that those ships, you're actually still ahead by actually farming them, doing even 100 crystal refreshes rather than buying them from shipments.
Good to know. Especially,
Yeah.
it's good to know what can save you on these crystals, because tell you what, I'm farming so many freaking hard nodes right now. It's obnoxious.
It's crazy. It's like Hard Node City out there, man.
Hard node city, and then they
very
still want you to relic characters. It's like, Jesus, it's a lot of
Yep.
friggin' energy.
So I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. But I'm hoping to have a surprise for you live on the show next week.
I don't know what to make of that. What kind of surprise? What are you talking about?
You'll see next week. I'm
Like
not
a
100%
relic
sure it's going to
Wonka?
happen. Maybe. Maybe.
I love mine. That's all I'm
Maybe.
saying.
I seriously think he's going to be my next Gear 13. Unless we get, an announcement tomorrow about the next level for relic characters, I've pretty much decided that Wampa's going to be my next Gear 13. Just because I've started, Thrawn lead with him in Grand Arena is a point machine. It's he gains a ton of offense. He gains a ton of health, which makes him just exponentially better. So I would actually be able to take out more difficult teams with him, which would be very beneficial for Grand Arena. So I kind of think that's the route I'm going to go.
I like
the
it.
only thing that might change that, like I said, is, of course, some
Deciding
big
to
change
gear nest.
with... That's definitely not going to happen. But something that changes with the requirements for these Galactic Legend characters, because the only other First Order that I need that particular Gear 13 piece for is going to be General Hux. And, I've still got to get him to 7 stars. He's
Yeah,
like 2 shards away from 4 stars. So I'll have time to get another one of those pieces back.
Makes sense.
All right, my man, what did you do this week on your accounts?
Not a whole lot. Not at least not a whole lot that's memorable. As far as gearing goes, which is usually where I end up on this thing, I got crew. I need one more piece for crew. I think I'm farming the Gear 12 finisher prototypes. I think I got all the
Nice.
Pyros, so crew should be Gear 13 in the next day or so. And
Hell
then,
yeah.
I think
Now
I've
we're
got
talking.
I think I've built up about 200 signal data of each type right now, so that when I get him to Gear 13, it's just chunking together the gear pieces to put with the signal data, and then he should
Yeah.
be Relic 7, hopefully. I don't know I
Yeah.
need to look at how much signal data you actually need to get to Relic 7. I might be missing a little bit.
I think it's 115 for the first 2, and then it would be
If it's lower than that, then I got it on lock.
75 for the last one, I believe.
Gotcha. Yep, then I'll be good to go to get him to Relic 7 once he gets to Gear 13. So that's the plan for now. Fox is 2
like it.
pieces from Gear 13. I know Fox is in the second wave of requirements, but I needed something to farm with fleet energy, and he was the only other character I had at Gear 12 at the time. So I was just kind of chunking pieces together for him all week of fleet energy pieces. And so he's only 2 away now from Gear 13. And the other part, First Order Officer, I got him to gear 12. So since he's...
Yeah.
Even though Fox is close to gear 13, I might switch over to First Order Officer just because he's in the wave 1 of requirements. Now that he's gear 12, I can see all the fleet energy pieces that he needs and go after those and then start working him. The problem is that my First Order Stormtrooper is just still so far away. He
takes a lot of gear.
Well, mine is still gear 8. So I'm waiting on a...
I think he takes a lot of stun guns. He's pretty rough.
Well, that's the funny thing there. To get to gear 9 right now, I'm waiting on stun guns. So
yeah, that's rough.
That is the spot. But, once I finish... It depends. I'll work fleet energy for First Order Officer and probably use regular energy for Stormtrooper now, once I get crew up. So that's where I'm at there. I mean, things aren't looking too terrible. I've been getting terrible drops on Kylo's shuttle. I think I'm only at 30 out of 100. So that's after a week. I think I said I was 20 or 25 last week, but I'm only at 30 now. So
you might need to up those node refreshes.
That would be nice if I weren't farming Hux, Sith Trooper, Rose, Holdo, the shuttle. Just so much energy, and then trying to gear someone. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really should up my farming on... I really should drop Holdo and Rose and do them later once I get this event unlocked for First Order and stop worrying about them so much, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
That's what I did on my main and my alt. I got Resistance Trooper to gear 13. So I now have RJT, BB-8, Holdo, and Resistance Trooper at gear 13. And Finn is 2 pieces from gear 13.
Nice.
So that'll help.
Oh, you're making progress.
5 of them at gear 13. Ray will be next after that. So within the next week when I talk about this, I should be getting close on Ray probably. And then I'll have almost 6 resistance at gear 13 at that point. The only big problem with that account right now is I'm still farming ARC Trooper. So I don't have any signal data on that account. So all those characters are literally only gear 13. They don't have any relics on them yet because I have no signal data. So it'll be real nice when I finish that stinking ARC Trooper. And then I'll be good to go. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Pretty much just gear 13 for Galactic Legends, and that's about it.
Sounds like a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, my favorite game mode, gearing characters.
See, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm farming so heavily on getting towards these Galactic Legends, but I kind of want to do something fun. I'm just itching,
Yeah.
Gets to you after a while.
Oh, no doubt. That's why I was glad I took that time to do Jolie, Yoda, Watt. It's nice to get those characters up. So we'll talk about Jolie here in a second. We'll go into this next little section here.
All right.
So you wanted to mention some guild stuff from this week.
Yeah. I mean, we are in the middle of the Lightside Geo territory battle. The one thing that I had not mentioned as far as what I've done this week in SWGOH was talk about Lightside Geo territory battle. And I've been pretty impressed. I have been absolutely kicking ass, which I'm pretty happy about because, for one, I love this game mode, and 2, I've been kind of building a lot of teams kind of working towards this game mode, and so far through the first 3 phases I have done 33 combat mission waves. I can't remember what I was at last territory battle, but I don't think I hit 33 last TB at all. Part of this is our strategy, but part of it is I have done extremely well, which I'm pretty happy about. I actually went 4 out of 4 with my Jedi team in Slice 2 at the bottom. That's the one that requires 21k plus power Jedi. I went 4 for 4 there, which was pretty badass. Of course, I do have a Relic 7 Jolie. I mean, like, I don't really ever worry about Jolie dying. Like, he's a freaking monster. But, you know, everybody else dies, but Jolie just keeps bringing them back. I may try to get another video and do like a detailed breakdown on strategy and stuff with that team. I've got one kind of video, you know, on our YouTube channel, but it's pretty kick-ass team. I love it. Hermit Yoda is also a total monster. He is amazing for, you know, the tenacity up, which is actually also crit avoidance on Jolie and all that sort of stuff. And then, you know, just a lot of the other missions I've done pretty well in. But the big thing was the strategy. So last time we started on the south. This is probably the most common strategy that I've seen, and that is going at the bottom and going for 3 stars there. At least guilds around our GP were at 260, and last time we fell, I think, 8 or 9 million short, just because, you know, if people mess up on some of those combat missions, you can end up screwed, because we only have 151 million GP for characters, and you need 179. So if you end up short on combat missions, you can kind of get in a bad spot there. So we actually went and got our 2 stars in the middle first, and then moved to the south. So we got our stars in the middle, and then we were able to also do combat missions in the south. So we get to double up on the combat missions in the south, deploy so that we have a little bit of carryover from phase 1. So that made us getting 3-star there, like, is almost a lock, like almost nothing to worry about there.
Yeah, it was way better than last time as far as that
Yeah.
went. I think we got that 3rd star like real early, considering
Comparatively, yes,
Yeah.
for sure. So the other thing that does by going and opening that middle first is it opens the middle territory in Slice 2 earlier. And that's the one with 3 combat missions. And so our goal there was just knock out those combat missions. One, to get practice for people, so people can go in and, you know, test various team comps and all that sort of stuff. But the let's see, you know, being able to do the gas and Ahsoka, and, you know, the other 2 missions, you know, just allows you to rack up a little bit more territory points from combat missions, which I think is really beneficial. If your guild is one of those guilds where you can get to, you know, like, get the, what is it you need in that middle, 96 million. If you can get there without needing multiple days, then you may not need to do this strategy. But this strategy is kind of beneficial for us because it gives us 3 days to work on that middle phase. Gives us 2 days to work all the way up to almost that 1st star. And then we stop and then finish it on the final day, essentially. But the other thing that is super interesting is the southern mission. We are borderline being able to 2-star it. We need to have a little bit more success with combat missions. I don't think everyone is deployed. There's 2 hours left, and we are at 191 out of 217 million GP.
Mm-hmm.
The big benefit here is we have just basically given everyone the full go to go ahead and deploy. Do your combat missions, deploy south.
Nobody has to wait, so that's why I'm curious.
Exactly.
In those last 2 hours, if people can just finish that off, if they did wait to deploy because they didn't realize that there was not going to be another place to drop that GP anyway. So
yeah, and the one thing about this is, like I said, we're only 150 million character GP, which leaves 67 million GP we actually need from combat missions there, which we're actually going to have some GP deployed elsewhere. So I think I figured 75 million GP roughly, which comes out to 1.5 million GP per person from combat missions. So basically, if everyone was able to go 2 out of 4 and 3 out of 4 on those 2 combat missions, the Jedi and any light side team, if everybody could do that, we would get the 2nd star there. That is kind of a tall ask for a lot of people that have kind of struggled, but a lot of people have clones. So if you have clones ready, you can probably get both stars in this territory battle in one day pretty easily. So I think this is actually really good strategy, because if we just get a little bit more efficient there, we will be able to, be on pace to add that star and maybe another star. So right now we're on pace
the middle
to get
slice 2 ships was about 15 million from the next star. So there's one that's, if we can start beating those battles more regularly as people keep unlocking Negotiator or even the ships that they have. I know some people are having success with other fleets in there. I don't really know what they are, because I have no success on the fleet missions in light side, but that 15 million shouldn't be that hard to make up eventually. So there's another star.
But the problem with that territory is the combat missions are only 900,000, and this is where we might gain a star, because we actually have a decent number of people who are able to complete some of these combat missions. I think we're between 5 and 10 people that almost every territory we have that many people beating it. So the 3rd slice, this is the one where most people go right up to that 91 million mark and then stop. And we are going to go as close as we can to 91 million. We have 108 million GP in ships. All we need to 3-star that territory is 11 combat mission completions. And when we're getting 5 to 10, we are super close to getting that next star there. We could definitely luck into it. But as of right now, we're basically a guarantee to get, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's no way we won't get less. We're guaranteed 14 at least. No questions about it. We have a chance at 15 if we do really well in these combat missions in the middle territory in the next day, which is possible. That could get us a 15th star, but the more likely 15th star will be that 3rd star from that fleet territory. So,
to answer your question, Grande, we prioritize the combat missions, and if you can get to the special mission while doing combat missions and doing well at them, then we say go for it. But we'd rather have the SAMs done.
Yeah, and it kind of depends. So, like this 3rd slice fleet, the nice thing about doing that over 2 days is you can do the special mission the first day, and then you can do the combat mission the second day. Because doing combat mission on day 1 is not really all that beneficial, just because you're not trying to max your GP. You're just trying to get to 91 million. That's it. So you can do a combat mission that day and then work on it from there. As for me, I'm not prioritizing any of the special missions, really. I did do the Padme mission in the beginning just because I had the teams to test it, and I used like a kind of lackluster Padme team, and I failed it. Let's see, the special mission at the bottom with General Kenobi ain't gonna freaking happen.
Yeah, that one's just... Those special missions are like massive luxuries that are like more likely to happen a year from now than they are right now.
For sure.
I will say this, that going off what you were talking about I completely met those requirements you were talking about today in a surprising finish in that south. I was able to... So using Jolie with my new relic to Jolie, let's go back to day one. Droideka took out Jolie, my relic for Jolie, instantly, and I didn't get a single wave in Slice 1. Same thing happened to my Padme team, no waves.
Oof.
So, because they took out Anakin almost
Kenobi?
immediately.
Oh, damn, that's
so,
bad.
thanks, Droideka. So, the first day I was already pissed off. I'm like, well, this sucks. But I went and did mine today using... Jolie got off 5 mass revives, and I killed 2 people in wave 4. So I felt I was pretty close. If some things had gone my way a little bit more in wave 4, I could have gone 4 out of 4, but 3 out of 4 with the Jedi in that South territory. I was pretty happy with that. And on top of that,
Yeah.
since I needed better Jedi, because you need the 21k Jedi to use on that mission, I decided not to do Padme on the normal one, and I went with Shakti and the clones instead so that I could use, like I said in chat, I used JKR, Jolie, Anakin, GK, and Grandmaster Yoda for the Jedi mission that I almost completed, and then on the regular one I used Shakti and my Relic 4 clones, or my Relic 4 Shakti and the Relic 4 clones, and they almost got 3 out of 4. I think that a sniper droid took out one, and then it kind of fell apart to get to that 4th wave. But I did get 5 waves today, so I'd say that's pretty good considering I have 7 total.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
I'll tell you what, that Jolie is the key on that Jedi team, because as long as
he's kick-ass, isn't he?
As long as he keeps up. For the most part, it was always Yoda and Jolie alive, because Yoda gets all those force sights and helps himself out. And Jolie will bring back everyone else to be bullet sponges while Yoda goes off, and it works. So, and then on top of that, having Anakin in that team this time with the AOE to take out the droid battalion stacks with AOEs. Even when I say the one thing that didn't really work was the fact that there was no dispel on my team. So if someone taunted, I'd have to go straight through them to get back to taking off droid battalion stacks. But other than that, it was fine. So
and that was one thing that we mentioned was the absolute priority is maximizing combat missions in the South, because we're going to be able to get to the mark that we need to in the middle, even with piss poor combat missions there. So this allowed people to take Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka, General Anakin Skywalker, whatever you want to build a Jedi team. Take your absolute best Jedi and build that team and see what you can do, because that's going to be the next star, is getting the 2-star in that territory. I don't think we're going to get it this time. I had a suspicion we probably wouldn't, but I think last time I checked, we're like 100 and let me go check real quick. Yeah, we're at 191 million out of 217. So 16 million more is all we need. I also haven't deployed, which is 2.5. So, we still have some ground to make up there, but we're getting pretty close. I mean, I'm pretty excited about that. Maybe by next time this territory battle comes up, we'll be a little bit closer there and be knocking that out. And then tomorrow we get to attempt cam shards. Yay! That'll be my project while I'm on the road.
I'm fairly sure I'm going to end up in the same spot where I take Django down and then the Reek just goes ham on the rest of my leftovers. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get any more relics onto my clones before this one, so unless RNG is better for me this time, that the results will probably be the same. They're all Relic 4, but even still, that's almost not enough. I don't know. I mean, people with all Relic 7s are still, banging their head against the wall, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's go into this.
Strong with us, this update is Young Padawans.
P.S. That might be the longest what we did this week in SWGOH we've ever done.
That is probably true. We went into depth about some TB though. So.
I know. I'm just saying.
But yeah, that was a lengthy segment. Oof, good grief. All right. Why don't you tell everybody about these general Skywalker changes? Actually, why don't you read this this lengthy post that they posted?
I thought you wanted to read it.
I'll read it if you want me to.
I thought you were gonna dramatically read it.
All right, fine. I will do it. All right, here we go. Hi, folks. We are continuing to monitor General Skywalker, and we have observed some changes to matchups, but no significant impact on the balance of this character. Due to fear of creating more unintended bugs, we're going to leave General Skywalker as he currently is. We believe that any more time invested in this interaction will be detrimental to both our bottom line and, less importantly, player satisfaction. See you on the holotables.
That seems like a little longer than what it actually was.
Yeah, a little bit.
They didn't put that much thought into it.
So that's not actually what they said. The first part was they are actually not going to change this interaction with General Anakin Skywalker. They are going to leave it. They're not going to revert his kit to the way it was before. They're just going to keep it there. What do you think about this?
I think it's lazy. I think it's probably one of the laziest things I've seen from them. You would fix the Sith Raid and create a new bug, and rather than fix the bug is now a feature. And for everybody that's now losing more of the matches that they were winning before this happened, all those people are just out of luck now. Sure, yeah. You got to learn to do it a different way now. I understand that, but the fact of the matter is you created a bug, and then rather than fix it, you just said, oh, this is part of the kit now. I think it's lazy.
Well, I think it's lazy too. And while his kit doesn't say anything specific about this,
doesn't matter. They did
putting him. Well, no, but they never specified whether he should be able to counter whether he reaches zero protection or not.
They absolutely
did.
But
here's the deal: dead characters don't counter, and that's basically what happens when Anakin goes into cover. He acts like he has been killed, basically, and his protection reaches zero. He goes down, and that's it. It's silly that he counters. It's dumb. I don't like it. I also kind of hate it because it can cost you points in Grand Arena. All in all, I haven't noticed any difference whatsoever in how difficult battles are or anything of the sort. So I don't particularly have I don't have a camel in this race. So
I don't have a camel in the race either. The fact of the matter is I'm more worried about the long term and the setting this as a precedent for anything, really. We've now introduced a bug, and rather than fix it, we're just going to leave it. Like, honestly, really?
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, but it's ridiculous.
Sadly.
It's ridiculous. And it is, and whether or not it says in his kit whether this was supposed to happen or not, when it first breaks and you say we are investigating this change that caused him to counter before he kneels going into cover, that means it wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether the kit specifies whether it's supposed to happen or not, they wouldn't go into investigating something that just started if they meant for it to happen after their fix. This was unintended. Now it's happening. They're not fixing it. So whether the kit says that this was supposed to happen from the start when he was released or not, and now that he does because he was supposed to, doesn't matter. They didn't mean for this to happen. It happened, and now they're not fixing it. So for everyone that's like, well, his kit doesn't say, okay, fine. But the fact of the matter is this happened. They didn't mean for it to, and they're not fixing it. So all I'm saying. And hopefully when we see our characters that we use all the time break in the future, in a way that's worse for us than this is for some people, because it is true, like Elon Mustard said in chat, he went 4 out of 4 on his combat missions because of the bug. So there are good things to it, and I'm not saying it's bad that it's staying in all aspects. It's just lazy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, just because this doesn't seem to have a big effect, my assumption is their thoughts are this doesn't really have an effect one way or the other much at all. So why invest the time into fixing it when we're already trying to figure out what we're going to do with the Galactic Legends, because they're knees deep in that, which honestly, it's whatever. Like, I don't feel that strongly about it.
By the way, Elon, if I call Wink, I'm looking up at Wink right here on Skype on my TV up here. All you see is a green screen. We don't get,
that's
these
true.
Star Wars backgrounds.
I don't even know what's going on in the stream. No
You're
idea.
still in the Jedi library.
Ah, good. I
So-
like it. It's better than being like.
And what's the planet from Rogue One that everyone dies on? That's where I'm at. So I don't know if that's bad or good omen, but
Scarif.
I am on Scarif. Yes, I'm on the beaches of Scarif. But in Skype, it's just a green screen. So if we
Looked
put
nice
up the
before
green
it blew
screen,
up.
it would just be green.
All right. Since we've talked about that really exciting post, let's go ahead and move on to this.
Back on topic, we're talking about Roadhead. Or Road Ahead. Sorry.
We're talking about Roadhead, really?
Road Ahead.
Or technically State of the Galaxy.
That's still my favorite sounder.
It's pretty good.
The
It is
horn
pretty-
honking at the end gets me every time. Merp, merp. Let's go.
It's funny. Whenever I made that, I made it and sent it to you, and it was like 3 or 4 months before we got another post. I totally had forgot that I made that thing, and you were like, "No, I remember. There was a horn."
I'm like, there was one. Yeah, there was. You made one. I remember it.
It's funny. All right, so why don't you tell us about this State of the Galaxy?
All right. State of the Galaxy, also known as one of the shortest update posts we've gotten.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to this. Well, okay, there's not a lot of words to this. There is a lot as far as Galactic Legends goes. So, once again, we're spending a bunch of time on Galactic Legends because that's all we got right now. But Galactic Legend event structure. So here we go. This event will require a new kind of event ticket earned via existing game modes. So, not only do you have to gear up and relic these characters, now you have to earn tickets to complete the event.
Yay.
It's super exciting. No, it's not. That's so lame. This reminds me of unlocking Malik or General Anakin Skywalker and then having to get one shards that way. It's just a built-in way for it to take longer to get them for them to even unlock them, because you got to unlock them at 7-star. But it's just another way to gate the time that you get these characters, as if the prereqs on these characters wasn't enough of a gate, in my opinion. I don't know.
I'm with you. Based on what it sounds like they're doing, tickets earnable once you meet the prereqs. So yeah,
you can't even get the tickets.
Ton of relics.
So you can't even get the tickets until after you've done the prereq relics.
So if this is what they're talking about with the new game mode that's kind of like a raid that's locked behind 13 relic characters, people are going to be pissed. That's painful. And they should be pissed. Like, that's ridiculous. We need a new game mode. And look, if this is a one-off event type thing, I don't know what they're talking about with tickets. Like, we'll see how they play it. But
yeah, because we don't even know what the tickets are for.
If the tickets are to do the event, one event or the other, the tickets could be a lock to prevent you from getting, or they could be a gate to make people choose between Rey and Kylo if you end up getting both of them, both the requirements met. That's what I'm suspecting that the tickets are for, and I'm hoping that's what they're for.
See, see, this is the part, right? This is confusing. It's like I said when I said we don't know what the tickets are. My thought was you unlock the event, you beat it, and now you earn tickets to very similarly buy shards like you do with
Right.
And this is how they stop hoarding, basically. So you don't have to play the event again. Now you've got to get tickets and earn them to buy the shards instead of everyone getting a 7-star character, right off the bat.
Yes.
This to me feels like how they stop hoarding, and you have to wait a long time to get the character, much like they probably intended with the epic confrontations, but so many people hoard currency that a lot of people didn't have to wait at all. So I don't know.
I hope this, like, everything we just talked about, I am actually okay with on one condition. This cannot be the new game mode that they were talking about, like the single player raid thing they were talking about. This cannot be it. If it is, riots will ensue, and I will be one of the
like I said, it's
people with a freaking pitchfork.
I think it's a terrible idea when you're releasing new content to make it so that only a very few people can play it. For example, like I said, Relics, when they came out, that was all that came out at the time, and the only people that could do that were in-game players for the most part. And this
something else
is a new player trying to get to that. You might as well wait 2.5 years before you get into there. Like, that is not going to happen unless that is your sole focus, is to unlock that as a new player. So as far as that being the new content for everyone, that would be a terrible way to go. But I don't think
something
it is.
else.
I still think that we heard those in that QA when they talked about a horde-like mode that's similar to Galactic War, but an updated version of Galactic War where we play it every day, and it's more like that.
Please.
That hint there is what I'm holding out for, because if that is what we are getting as far as new mode, I will be happy.
That would kick ass. Yeah,
because
totally agree.
It's playable
100%.
every day.
Yep.
You can play. It's a new type of thing. Probably provides way better crap than Galactic War does.
Yep.
So that is what I'm holding out hope for. I assume that this will be new content, like one of the new contents they're talking about. But we still remember it's middle of February. We haven't heard a peep about that raid with a ship stage in it that was supposed to be first quarter of 2020. Still haven't heard anything about that. So
one other comment that I have about these tickets, they have issues kind of making these recent characters, these Galactic Legend, or not Galactic Legend, legendary, whatever you want to call them, like Skywalker, Malik, Revan, whatever. All of these characters you can hoard for, and they said tickets can be earned every day in various game modes, which means the better you do in Arena, which means the more missions that you beat. In other words, the more refreshes you do, aka crystal spending, the more of that you do, the more tickets you will get per day. And I think that might be kind of their goal, to get people to absolutely unload some of these crystal hoards. Something along those lines. We'll see.
And I'm with you, Grande. I could imagine that being a thing too, where they max out the amount of tickets you can earn in a day. Or just even max the amount that you can spend in a week.
Do you think they would put a max on a day if it was tied to Cantina
do.
refreshes? Why?
I do think they would.
Why?
Because that
you think they won't let you do?
Okay, maybe they won't
crystal
cap how many.
refreshes?
Maybe they won't let you cap how many tickets you can get. But if they don't do that, they're gonna cap how many times you can enter the event a week. This is time gate. That's all it is. This is meant to time gate when you get the character.
Yes.
So
yes,
one of those two caps is
time
going
gate,
to happen.
But there will be a way to absolutely effing pay if you want to. And I think as long as you have tickets, you'll probably be able to do the thing. The thing is, you start doing insane crystal refreshes, they'll keep giving you the tickets.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, who knows? I'm pretty sure that either they're going to cap the amount of tickets you can get or how many times you can do the event a
brings
week.
up a good point. You cannot do as many arena battles as you want to. That is a fantastic example because you can keep refreshing battles. I don't know where the refreshes stop. There is some limit at the end, but there becomes a point of refreshes where the cost-benefit analysis says don't freaking refresh anymore. And I think it will be one of those type things where they make it to where it gets to a point where it's so ridiculous that that just doesn't make any sense to do it.
Interesting. I'm interested in more information on this because right now it just feels like what was time gated already is now time gated even longer. I'm really curious if we're gonna get these characters unlocked before the end of the summer.
Oh, probably not.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, are we going to just spend the entire year talking about Galactic Legends? Because please give me more than this.
Totally agree.
A couple other things they said about Galactic Legends that were interesting. Only one Galactic Legend will be allowed per squad. Now, they said there's some interesting coding things they have to do to make sure that this can happen, but they don't want you to be able to have more than one on the same squad. So that's interesting.
Which is kind of a bummer. But also,
well, there goes any ideas of Galactic Legend, Rey and Kylo having any synergy together, like some people thought would be really cool, considering the last movie. But,
yes. Well, not only that, but I mean, how effing strong are these characters going to be that they only allow one per squad? Like, it's going to be so damn strong that they know it would break basically any other content that they may, like raids and stuff. It would break the shit out of them if you allowed more than one. Not to mention, we're going to get Jedi Luke at some point. We're going to get other Galactic Legend characters, so.
Yep. Well, that's the next point. They are imagining that Galactic Legends will usually be released in pairs. So that brings up a question.
I like that, actually. a lot.
Jedi Luke, if and when he finally comes, who do you pair with him?
Galactic Legend Vader.
So we're just going to get another version of Vader.
Yes, we'll get a Vader that effing smashes everything.
A Vader that is worthy of the name with his kit?
Yes.
Okay.
Hell yes. Please let that happen. Please.
So you're saying you'd go after Vader over Luke?
Yeah, I'll be honest. This is going to be controversial as a Star Wars fan, especially someone who's not that crazy on the dark side, but Luke's kind of a bitch. I've never been like a huge Luke Skywalker fan. People are going to shun me for what I just said, and that's totally fine, but I'm not as big of a Luke fan as everybody else. I love Han. I like Chewie. I like Luke. It's just, I don't know. Just...
If you know, it's funny. I'm with you on this, to be honest. The only one that I do like the only Luke I really liked was Jabba's palace Luke.
Yeah,
the black, all black with his lightsaber. He was pretty badass in that.
I'm not saying I don't like. I like Luke. I just some people talk about like he's this amazing. Like to me, Han is far more fascinating. Chewie. Maybe not fascinating, but I like Chewie better, I guess. I don't know. Luke's just not that complex of a character.
Lukewarm?
I'm lukewarm on Luke.
Yeah, Luke's all right. I mean,
So yes, I would absolutely go for Vader, because he is like the most badass villain of all time. That's not even a decision.
gotcha. All right. Well, going into the other things from the State of the Galaxy, mythic battles have returned. Goal to have them run regularly going forward.
Very
I didn't
exciting.
even realize they were gone. So that says something.
I've noticed that mythic battles and assault battles haven't been running as much because I seriously struggled to keep up shard shop currency. Very annoying.
Yeah, my biggest problem with those things is still the mod management tools that they have in the game, because half the time I still
They're
don't
bad.
want to do some of these because I know I'm about to get 10 mods every time I do it, and I don't have 10 mod slots available, which means I have to sell 10 mods to pick up the mods that I may or may not want in my message system to then sell those as well. I so obnoxious. But yeah, I'm gonna really have to start selling some mods because I've been at that 750 cap forever, and it gets really annoying getting new mods because it's like, all right, you just bought a mod from the store, and I know you want to play with it, but first you have to find something to sell.
I'm at the same point. I'm going to spend that 12-hour trip in the car tomorrow combing through mods, selling mods. I'm going to get some serious work done tomorrow. It's going to be impressive.
Yeah. Sell your garbage mods. Yes, I know. I know
Here-
what I
here's the
need to sell.
problem.
The problem is that I don't know the garbage mods yet because I haven't leveled every mod I own. But I see
Mods that used to be garbage aren't garbage anymore. There are a lot of mods that used to suck that are pretty kick-ass now with relics.
I feel like I can turn any mod into something good, and that's my problem. So I'm like, oh, this mod, this screen mod that has offense as its one stat, and it's a offense mod, that'll probably end up being good.
So I have a rule. This is totally random, but I have a rule with mods. If it doesn't have two secondary stats that complement and go with the primary stat, I ain't interested. So if it's protection primary, I want speed. Obviously, always complements anything. So speed. But with that protection primary, I want like some defense, some more protection, or health, or something along those lines. Very rarely do I see like, am I looking at like, say, a protection triangle and I'm like, oh yay, offense. No. Hail to the no. Like, I don't care. Triangle's the biggest one that I think is easy to separate, because if you're not going with an offense or a crit damage triangle, you're going with a survivability triangle, you do not care about offense secondaries. Like, it just doesn't matter. And the other way around. For the most part, you just protection, health, you don't really care about on a crit damage triangle. Like, you want more offense or more speed. Like,
I'd say out of the 750 mods I have, the smallest percentage are triangles. That, like, triangles, finding good triangles sometimes is the hardest one, I think.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
So, I think my highest speed triangle mod's like a 20, and then the rest are like barely over 10. So, triangles are the worst for me.
Yeah, they're tough to find for whatever freaking reason. Probably because the primary stats vary so much, and there's only a few that are actually really good. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we went off track again. Classic us.
No.
Art image of polygons on Ray's.
That Ray is so polygon. Woo!
Look how polygon this Ray is. I mean, honestly.
I'd have a polygon with her.
I don't know what that means, but all
I don't
right.
know what that means either, but yeah.
Anyways, you can see there's a lot more. If you look at the far left one, you can see how the detailing over the last 4 years has gotten really deep on these characters. Like the face on this Galactic Legend, as far as points goes, way better than the other two. So we'll see how this Galactic Legend Ray actually ends up looking, because I have a feeling it's going to look real good. So
Yeah. And I like the appearance that they kind of went with. It's kind of her at the end, like, I don't know what you call it, what she's wearing, but like she looks pretty badass. Like, I'm pretty excited to see what the final looks on these two characters are. I think it's gonna be pretty awesome.
yeah, to the very least, you can see that while there are still parts that are similar between RJT and the new Galactic Legend, there's like some armbands, the hair's different. I mean, the belts are more detailed, so we'll see what this ends up looking like.
Yep, for sure. So I'm not sure if you've noticed, but currently if you go into the events tab and you start looking at the stuff that's around, you will see the Rebel Roundup assault battle. Did you look at the rewards for it?
I didn't, but I've already seen the images.
So this event, it appears that the rewards are that of an assault battle that has challenge tiers.
Yeah, really odd that this is in the game and nothing has been said about it. And you know what's funny
They
is
said nothing at all.
this is the worst part about the fact we've had to do Thursday podcasts all this month. This month, they've released a lot of information on Fridays. Like State of the Galaxy we just went over, that was on a Friday. That was last Friday, the day after podcast. I'm willing to bet that tomorrow, you know, since this event is supposed to start in 3 days, I assume Friday, going into the weekend when the event is going to start, they'll announce it tomorrow. That's my guess.
That is my guess as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Which one is
Very
Rebel
weird.
Roundup? That's the one that you use Bounty Hunters and
Bounty
Imperial
Hunters.
Troopers.
Yeah.
Two of my
hunters
worst. I
are
won't be
freaking
beating that one. I can tell you that.
beasts. I love my bounty hunters. They are just nasty as all
Well,
hell.
I have 5 Relic 4 Bounty Hunters on my ult. So I should be
Oh,
totally
nice.
fine on my
Nice.
alt. My main, however, I only have 3 at gear 12.
Sorry. Yeah.
And the
Bummer.
rest are gear 11. So that one's probably not happening for me.
Yeah.
But the Ewok one didn't happen on my ult either, and it was totally fine on my main. So
Yep. So, yeah, we'll see. I think that'll be Sunday when I'm driving back when that thing's out, so I'll have to.
I mean, maybe
Crush it.
that. What day is that? That's the 24th, isn't it? Maybe that is why they moved Places of Power to the 28th. Was because Places of Power was still not working the way they wanted it to with the bonus tiers, and they knew that a new one was coming out on the 24th to take its place.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I hadn't thought about that. That's
Because they did
interesting.
move Rebel Roundup into this spot. Into
They
taking the spot
did.
of the Places of Power. So I feel pretty good about thinking that there's going to be an announcement about this tomorrow. Or they might not announce anything and it just shows up and it's there. Who knows?
That is true. Let's see. Oh,
It was in the update notes for last week. They said
Was
what
it?
the change.
I'm trying to find it. Was it in State of Galaxy?
212
Surely not.
content update. It says
Date.
Places of Power is now scheduled for 228. This swaps with Rebel Roundup. This swaps with the Rebel Roundup event, which is now moved to 224. So they basically switched to the 2 in the spot they were in.
Huh. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that's true. Hopefully it is a challenge tier because that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree. But we are getting... Why don't you blast my eardrums with that sweet jazz music real quick? Oh, thank you.
I remember to turn it down.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
Well, if you're listening to the stream and you were here last week, you might notice that my voice sounds a whole heck of a lot better than it did last week. And there's
It's
a
not
reason.
making you blue like it did last week.
Yes, exactly.
Or not. Or maybe it's not blue.
I've turned blue.
It felt not blue last week.
Yeah, things weren't very blue last week. Last week, we figured out that my sound was coming through the microphone on my webcam onto the Twitch. So you all were hearing the built-in microphone of my webcam and not this nice guy right here. So if you were here last week and you heard that sound and now you can compare it to my blue microphone, you know exactly how good these things sound. So want to say a shout out to Blue Microphones for sponsoring this podcast. We appreciate those guys immensely, allowing us to give giveaways so you guys can get your hand on these microphones as well to do your thing. So we want to say thank you to them, but they've got great products. We've been using these satellite headphones since the day we got them. No problems. Love them. They sound great.
Yeah.
The Sparks, the Compass boom arms, they got everything, man. All three different types of the Yeti. I think I got all mine sitting up there. These things are great, man. So if you like Blue or you like this podcast and you like the way it sounds, think about using Blue in the future if you're a content creator, gamer, anything. I use this microphone when I PC game using Discord calls and this microphone, these headset. It works great for gaming. It's so many uses. So great. Anyways, thank you, Blue Microphones. Go check them out. We appreciate their sponsorship.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now, going back into what we know for sure is coming, Places of Power is for sure coming with the new tiers on the 28th. Rebel Roundup, we could talk about that today, but we don't know for sure that that's actually coming. So we're going to stick with what we know is going to come, and that is Places of Power. Now, Places of Power takes place in the...
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah?
Places of Power is the one that we have not seen, but the Force Moon event we have had twice now.
Mm-hmm.
This was something I should have mentioned that I didn't SWGOH this week, but I beat Challenge Tier 2 of that damn thing, and the only the only Gear 13 character that I had was B2. And honestly, you don't even need him Gear 13. He really didn't do a whole hell of a lot. His Gear 13 made no difference whatsoever.
I think
you can absolutely beat that thing with Gear 12 characters.
Oh, no doubt. The only one that might help more for Gear 13 of all of them?
B1.
Well, B1, but even if not him, if Magna Guard could outlast any attack, including Tebow's, all you got to do is keep healing him every time, and he's good.
So my Magna Guard, I kept having troubles with him dying, and I ended up putting a Gear 12 Plus piece on him. It is the Mark 12 Thermal, the one that adds 100 strength, 6 speed, 90 armor, a yawn, and 115 physical damage. With the mods that I used on him, he was at almost 44,000 health, 98,000 protection, and 44.8% armor, and he survived every attack by Tebow and was still in the yellow health. Without that piece, he was absolutely getting nuked. That piece adds an insane amount of armor, and also that allowed me to switch to health due to the fact that there's so much stacking defense. I went a little bit more towards the health and protection side, and it seemed to work extremely well. I had no issue with it.
Yeah, mine's Gear 12, and let me see how many pieces he has. I'm not totally sure. I think the one thing that really made it easy for me is that although Tebow did hit Magna Guard once, it took him to red health, but Tebow was the only one alive, so I was able to instantly heal Magna Guard back up, and he lasted throughout the whole battle because he's chunky, just chunky enough that he survived that hit. So must have been the extra defense and all that stuff on him, because I only have one Gear 12 piece on him. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, he's at 69,000 health, 41,000. Sorry, 41,000 health, 69,000 protection. So that's what I'm saying. The more health and protection you get on him, the easier that team is to beat that event.
Yes.
Because
did you beat Tier 2?
See, about that. The problem with this
No?
event for me
Okay.
was that it was during a work day, and work day for me is working all night and sleeping all day. So
Dude,
any off time trying to do this event, I
it
did
takes so long.
I did a break. I was on a break at work, and I did tier 1, and I planned to come back to do tier 2, but then, all hell broke loose at work, so I didn't get to tier 2. But I didn't have a problem with that, and I guess I didn't prioritize it as much just because
Yeah.
I don't feel like tier 2 has the better of the two rewards anyway, so I was okay with it.
I don't disagree there. Tier 1 does have better rewards. I use the Emperor Palpatine team in tier 1, and it's pretty quick. The Thrawn team, so the team that I used was Thrawn lead, B1, B2, Magna Guard, and BB-8. It is slow.
How many stacks did you get to?
I think I was at 550, something like that. By the end.
550? Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see. I've never even tried the second tier.
Yeah, it was a lot of stacks.
I don't know if you remember the first time this came around. I didn't get to try it until like 10 minutes before it was ending, so I only got to do the first one, and this one I didn't get to try the second one. So I can imagine just how long that has to be able to get to that many stacks. Because I think in tier 1 I got to almost 300 stacks. So
I got home from work. I sat in my truck and started doing the battle. I think it was 35 minutes to do that thing.
Yeah. It's this is why I could.
It's
This is why I couldn't do it at work, because all I was thinking is like, when am I gonna have time to sit and focus for 35 minutes to beat this for signal data, which is great, but
it's pretty simple. I mean, the strategy is very straightforward. I'll do a video on this before the next time that this comes out. I will have a how-to video on it.
Hit the special button every time it's up. Use Thrawn to swap turn meter with B1. And if you can't do that, use the special ability. And the only time you attack is if you do not have an ability up that does not attack. B1 should be doing
100%
all of the attacking. Yep. And you need Magna Guard on the team specifically because he's always taunting. And you're targeting B1 or Magna Guard with your B1 just to keep him alive the entire time.
And save Illuminated Destiny for the beginning of each tier. It speeds things up. Just launch it at the beginning, especially whenever you get to, not tier, but wave. Whenever you get to wave 4, you absolutely want to use Illuminated Destiny as early as possible. And you want to manipulate
That's what I did
turn
wrong.
3 so that
That's what I did wrong. I guess the reason I didn't realize that I had done that wrong, I couldn't remember the team when I did the event. I remembered that it was Thrawn, B1, and B2, and Magna Guard. I couldn't remember the 5th. I used C-3PO because I trying to think critically of a character that doesn't attack, and C-3PO was the first one that came to mind, so that's who I used as the 5th in that team. BB-8 obviously would be better, considering he gets Illuminated Destiny, so I'll have to remember that for next time. But C-3PO did the trick as well, because he literally cannot attack, so...
Yep, that is true.
All right. Yeah, so let's go into Places of Power and kind of talk about ideas that we're having for this one. The Assault Battle requires First Order or Sith.
Which is convenient.
No, it's...
I mean, a lot of people have Malak. A lot of people have Darth Revan. A lot of people right now are working on their First Order. So you have a lot of options.
The only thing with Sith Empire is that not all Sith Empire are Sith. So you're not going to be able to take HK-47.
HKs. Yeah, that's
So who's the 5th
though.
one? So who would you throw in a 5th?
Crew?
You wouldn't throw another Sith in?
Probably not.
I don't know. I probably would rather have Nihilus than Crew.
You might want to throw in a Sith Empire because of the plus 50% crit damage, but I mean, Darth Nihilus is great. I mean, turn meter, cooldown increases, annihilate, he's nasty.
Say if you've got Marauder, that's a not viable option. I do not have Marauder, so that is not a viable option for me. But I'm curious to see how big the Raffle Stomp is with Sith Empire in this event. Because, they're
Yeah.
making this to be, challenging. So if all reliced out Sith Empire just autos it, then that's not really a challenge. So we'll see what happens there. I'm curious, but what are you planning to take in there?
I am planning to take in Crew, Kylo, Foxy, First Order Officer, and First Order Stormtrooper, probably. I mean, my First Order are pretty jacked. I mean, I'm almost finished with the 2 quests so far, so...
No Phasma? Poor Phasma.
I know, poor Phasma, but my First Order are insanely good. They're so much better than my Sith. So that's almost the route I'm going to have to go. Even right now, I mean, Foxy Executioner just basically nukes everybody. Just kill. Just kills 80% of the people just because one-shots them. It's freaking fantastic.
Yeah. I think I'm going to I'll probably end up doing the Sith Empire team plus Nihilus. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But even then, I don't know if I'll be able to beat it because of the fact that Malik is my only relic character. Everyone else is Gear 12.
Well, I've said for a long time, Bastila Shan Fallen is one of the most OP characters in this game. Her corrupted battle meditation is freaking ridiculous. The fact she does fear and everything, she is an absolute monster, and I think, I don't see any way she's not just a total badass in this thing.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be. I may even try Triumvirate, Bastila, and Malik, since they're all similar gear level anyway. So
yeah, not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea.
We will see. It'll be interesting to see if if we end up with something gimmicky like the Thrawn lead, or if it's actually just straightforward battle to the death with regular teams that we know about.
No.
There's one event ability called Dark Gambit that allows you to sacrifice a unit's health to gain multiple buffs. I think it's offense up, speed up, and crit up, something like that.
Okay.
So I don't remember how much health it takes away, but it is a way to buff your team up through the event. So I'm having a feeling that that's going to be important, and being able to heal yourself back up will also be important. Which if I remember correctly, Traya lead does very well for healing the Sith back up.
Oh god, yeah, she's a monster.
So
she's also great at taking away points from an opposing team in Grand Arena. She's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, this is coming up next week, so we'll let you know how it goes.
So I think that's going to be on the day that we podcast, right?
It should be, yeah. 28th
So
is next Thursday.
Maybe we'll do a little.
Actually, the 20th is Friday, so it'll be the day after we podcast.
Oh, is it? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe we'll stream it, but maybe we won't.
Maybe we'll talk about Rebel Roundup. Who knows what happens?
Oh yeah, we won't even get to talk about it. Oh well. All right. It is time to move along.
Hey boys, do you have any tips for us less experienced players?
So I got a very big tip here.
I'm sure you do.
Very big tip.
All right.
Well, let's get this last thing going here. I'm going to be completely honest. I knew I wasn't going to unlock this, and I haven't even read the kit. It's been out a week, and I don't even know this kit.
I don't know it either. I didn't unlock it. I'm not close to unlocking it, but I am farming the freaking ship that I need to do it, but whatever. But we're going to go through this kit. We're going to talk about it. I do have to say, I think this from what I recall, I remember thinking the ship's pretty awesome for territory battle. So yeah.
You want to make a bet
What?
that? No, I don't know. People would already know that right now, so never mind. I was gonna say
What were you gonna say?
whether you could use it in light side territory battle or it's bugged out like Malevolence was.
We can ask Chicken Bottom.
Chicken Bottom, you in the chat? Are you able to select this ship in territory battles right now?
And if so, let us know how it does.
Yeah, because I was gonna say this is one of those things where I'm like, is it gonna be bugged out the next two until they figure out that Raddus is actually supposed to be used in this event? We'll see.
Hopefully they learn their lesson with that other deal, but
Yeah, I would
who
think
knows?
so.
All right, so this is the Raddus. It is a light side ship. It is a capital ship. It is a resistance ship. The fleet commander is Amelin Holdo. This ship is described as a supportive resistance capital ship that will do whatever is necessary to protect the fleet.
Very thematic
Abilities.
to her in the movies, so makes sense.
Yeah, this kit is pretty legit, and specifically for one thing.
Well, I'm excited to hear what it does.
All right,
not even look at it for a week.
The basic ability is called Ace Maneuver. The final text. Target ally gains 20% turn meter, foresight for 2 turns, and is called to assist. If the assisting ally is resistance, expose the target enemy for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded or resisted. That's pretty good basic. I like turn meter gains.
You know what's funny is ship basics or capital ship basics. There's some pretty decent ones out there. I don't hardly ever get to use a ship.
That
basic.
is so true.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't. The Malevolence basic is awesome because it stuns, but I almost never use it. Specifically because if there is a special ability available and I have a slot open, using my basic isn't going to pull a vulture droid into the battle.
Yeah.
There's just so many times where you don't even use the basic with capital ships. But it's nice to have good ones for those moments where you actually do have to use them. And that's a pretty good one, I'd say. So.
Hell yeah.
All
right. Special 1 is called Recharge Deflectors, cooldown of 3 turns. Final text. Target ally gains tenacity up and deflector shield for 2 turns and 50% turn meter. Deflector shield. At the start of turn, recover 25% protection doubled for resistance allies and gain foresight for 2 turns, which cannot be copied. This
Very
is
similar
gnarly.
to Holdo's the character's kit, where she's a tank, but she's also a healer. So
She is.
This is very similar to that, where
100%.
she is trying to keep your team alive.
And this is that it was time for a yawn break. Sorry. I didn't have enough coffee. I ran out of coffee this morning, and I don't. It's been one of those days.
The only part to this that actually affects resistance is it getting an extra 25% protection, right? The foresight goes to anyone.
Correct.
All right. That makes sense.
And the really cool thing about this is, like I was talking about with territory battles, survivability is huge. Tenacity up, the turn meter gain, recovering protection. I mean, recovering protection is huge. The other thing is Grand Arena. Being able, this is the only way I know of to recover protection on ships. There might be a couple. Well, actually, I guess there is.
There's a lot of ships with special abilities to replenish protection.
Plo Koon and
Resistance
Jedi
Pilot
Consular
and Rex, and there's a ton of them.
Yeah, there's a few. So, but it's nice having a capital ship that can do it as well. I mean, this is a great offensive ship, I would say, for Grand Arena, depending on how your accompanying fleet is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good. That is a good one. I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't call an assist on it. I would have thought.
Well, probably because of all turn meter gain.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So the second special is called Outlast with a 4-turn cooldown. Dispel all debuffs on all allies. All allies gain protection up of 20% for 2 turns. Recover 50% protection and gain 20% turn meter. All resistance allies gain Deflector Shield for 2 turns. So this is like the previous ability, just on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
There's more protection recovery. There's a little less turn meter. But there's also the buff of protection up. And you still get Deflector Shield. So a resistance ship on this ability would gain 100% protection plus 20% protection up.
Not to mention, look at how much I've lost it. Goldfish lost it. Anyways, continue
I
your
have no
thought.
idea what you're
Not to
saying.
mention, fill in the blank here. This is like Mad Libs for podcasts.
Yeah, not to mention the dispelling all debuffs.
Yeah.
That is pretty nasty.
That's
There's
it.
only a few things that do it. I mean, Plo Koon does one, but as a reinforcement, which is great. But this
It makes me wonder, like, how debuff heavy the what's the name of the finalizer? How debuff heavy finalizer fleets are gonna be?
Oh, it's gonna be very debuff heavy, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think this dispel all debuffs on allies is almost will be a counter to that. So, by the way,
I
just
agree.
looking at the pictures or the gifs, the gifs, whatever you say here, these two, the animations on these two are awesome.
Oh, well, let's one up that because Special 3, the ultimate, is called the Holdo maneuver with a 10-turn cooldown, and this looks BA.
Holy crap! That animation is crazy.
Awesome. So, final text. If no enemy capital ship is present at the start of battle, this ability cannot be used. Dispel all debuffs on all allies, and they gain 100% turn meter. They inflict healing immunity and buff immunity on all enemies for 2 turns. Sacrifice the Raddus to destroy the enemy capital ship, then call a random reinforcement if able to. This ability can't be evaded. It starts on cooldown, and its cooldown is reduced by 1 each time resistance ally with foresight uses a special ability.
What's the cooldown? Oh, it's 10. There we go.
10.
Couldn't see it.
This, I mean...
So the only way to reduce that cooldown...
Legit.
Well, I mean, okay, so you can reduce it further than her just taking turns with the...
Correct. Resistance ally with foresight. So this ties back to that first special ability. Well, actually, both special abilities, where the Deflector Shield gives foresight and turn meter. Foresight plus turn meter means a resistance ally using a special ability, most likely, which reduces the cooldown of the ultimate.
And the best part about that is you get that foresight at the start of the turn. So you've now got foresight immediately as you're about to press one of your specials. So
yes,
if you have Deflector Shield and it hasn't been dispelled off of your ship, you know for a fact that you're getting that foresight to use that special. So it's not as random as it seems just by reading it. Because you know for a fact getting that Deflector Shield on the resistance is pretty simple with those 2 specials from the ship. So that's very nice.
And we'll get something else in a second that kind of ties in with that also, but that's some pretty gnarly stuff. The first unique is called Stay the Course. Final text, resistance allies deal 40% more damage and have 75% max protection. At the start of battle, resistance allies gain Deflector Shield and crit hit immunity for 2 turns. Whenever a resistance ally loses foresight, they gain evasion up and protection up for 2 turns. When the Raddus uses a hold-on maneuver, grant all allies advantage, tenacity up, and Deflector Shield for 2 turns. Whew.
All right, so right off the bat, if your starting lineup of 3 is all resistance, they all have Deflector Shield for their first turns, which means your more than likely going to reduce that cooldown by 3 on the first 3 turns.
Especially on a character like Poe, who has a special ability that gives him turn meter, and then he could probably use another special ability pretty quick. Like, there's some serious potential here.
How many turns does Deflector Shield last? 2 turns?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you lose Deflector Shield at the start of the second turn or after the second turn? It's after, right?
It's after, yes.
Yeah, so you would be able to, like you said with Poe, pull that off twice for double cooldown reduction.
Indeed. So this is pretty nasty, but the final thing is the reinforcement bonus, and that is reinforcements gain stealth for 3 turns. If the reinforcement was a resistance ally, they gain deflector shield for 2 turns. Another example, resistance with foresight doing a special ability is when they get reinforced.
Sorry, I'm stuck on hearing you say pretty nasty butt. That's
Buff. Buff.
Oh, you said buff.
Oh,
I
God.
I heard butt. Sorry. I don't know where my mind's at right now.
Gutter? The gutter.
It's-
The damn gutter. Quit it. Unbelievable. We don't insinuate things like that on this show, Dan.
Oh,
Jesus.
no, it's totally not. Not like, not every week, but plenty of weeks we get Salacious Dumb pulling our crazy quotes into a song form.
I was going to put that on the soundboard and freaking forgot.
I got it right here. Ready for this?
Oh, yes, do it.
Pulled it right out of my bum.
Think yourself mighty, do you?
One more time. Pulled it right out of my bum.
Think yourself mighty, do you?
Pulled it right out of my bum. I don't even remember saying
Pretty funny.
that, but
You
apparently
did.
I did. So-
You did. So let's see. What do you think about Holdo? What do you think about this capital ship?
Since I have Gear 13 Holdo on my alt, I really hope I can unlock this soon.
No kidding. What ships are you short on?
What ships am I short on? What ships are required? And then I'll tell you.
I don't remember.
Oh, I know. I'm only short on one ship, the Ebon Hawk.
Okay.
I have
That's
all
a
the
good ship,
others,
too.
except for the Ebon Hawk.
I am short Ray's Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, see, my alt account was the account that I was used to do the devastating old Millennium Falcon AoE with. So I had a 7 stars forever. So,
Nice.
not unlocked on my main. Oh! I unlocked Ray's Millennium Falcon this week. I didn't mention saying that.
Oh, did you?
Because I
Nice.
always do that. The event that gives you that Ray's Millennium Falcon is an option for shards. I always do the second to the highest tier on that one, hoping to get Millennium Falcon shards. And I actually did. And since I was 78 out of 80, I finally unlocked it. And I'm pretty sure that unlock came all from that event.
Nice.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten stinking Slave 1 shards when all I want is Ray's Millennium Falcon shards from that event.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
oh,
the way it
come
works sometimes.
on! Yeah, but yeah. So once I see, I don't on my alt, right? This is the conundrum, right? I have all of those characters at Gear 13 from Resistance, but no way to relic them because I'm using Canteen Energy finishing off Arc Trooper. But in order for me to get the Raddus, I would have to start using Cantina Energy on the Ebon Hawk, thus taking away from signal data again. So that's going to be low on the priority list, at least until they tell me that the Raddus is needed for the Galactic Legends.
Understandable.
So yeah, good times. I hate that. I really wish signal data had its own energy.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Right? Like if it were, we got mod energy. Not signal data energy, please.
Yep. That would be nice. Maybe we'll see something new because they've been adding a lot as far as, a lot of requirements for relics and stuff. I would like to see something new, but they are bringing these challenge tiers, which is nice. But we need some more ways to get this relic stuff. That would be very beneficial.
Yep, no doubt. All right. As far as the podcast goes, I think that's it for us this week. Wink, you got a long drive ahead of you tomorrow. So,
No, I do.
Why don't we get you some sleep? What do you say?
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea. This thing will, if you're listening to it now, you probably won't want to listen to it later, but it'll be up. It should be up nice and early. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll be back next week on Thursday yet again. If you want to come hang out on the live stream, we need to do a giveaway for our patrons. So we will for sure do that next week, and we're also gonna have a Patreon Q&A coming up. So if you'd like to get questions in for the SO After Dark Patreon Q&A, make sure you get those in.
Doesn't have to be game related. Whatever you want to ask. Next week, all our Patreons will be allowed to ask us questions, and it'll be a good time. So until next week, for episode 186, I have been GoodNightPunk in the last 2 hours. Probably before that, too. This is Wink. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next week.
Alrighty, guys. Later.
Later.